everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Talk Tuesday.
How y'all doing?
We're hoping you guys had a good weekend. Overall, we had a good one. What would you say?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. Well, it started, except for all the bad weather we had, it started snowing Friday night, at about 10 o'clock at night, and it snowed all the way till Monday at about 10 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, so it was probably, a good 60 hours of straight continuous snow.
And ice.
And ice and thunder and before that freezing rain and sleet, and then it turned all to snow. So yeah, so shoveling and plowing has been pretty hectic, but that's all done now, and we're all cleared out and cleaned up until tomorrow when we're supposed to get another 6 to 8 inches of snow. So Wisconsin spring, gotta love it.
It's crazy. This is even ridiculous for Wisconsin. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where I'm not even mad anymore. It's been since probably early to mid-March that we've been, most days, 20 degrees lower than it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. It really has, and it gets discouraging at times, but you just got to put your head down and keep on trucking. It doesn't look like we're going to get a spring. I think we're going to go right into summer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's supposed to be cold all this week, and then it's supposed to warm up to the 60s next week, but we'll see what happens.
That the night before we started getting the snow, so that would have been Thursday, I guess.
Right.
We had thunderstorms. I mean, really wicked thunderstorms.
No, that was Friday. That was before the snow started. Yeah, that was Friday before that was right before the snow started.
Because yeah, it was nuts. And then Saturday, we had to go down into the Milwaukee area for our daughter's baby shower, and we already knew it wasn't going to be a good trip because they said all the way down was going to be ice, and we're 3 hours away from there, so that was kind of a scary ride already.
Yeah, it was snow for us here when we left Saturday morning, but then when we got about another hour south, it was all rain, and then rained the whole way down.
Well, the shower turned out great. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun. The whole family was there. Well, most of the kids were there, and so that was really good. But then when we got up Sunday morning, it was sleeting really bad, and you went out and the Jeep was covered in ice.
Right.
So that was just kind of crappy. And then it just started snowing, and there was snow everywhere, but it was snow on top of the ice. And so this whole drive back was just crazy. And I did make a little video on it that I put out yesterday, and look up in the card or down in the description, I'll put a link there. I didn't even get all the pictures I could have of so many vehicles in the ditches. And then
it was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there was some really scary stuff going on. There was the time we were right around Madison, which is Wisconsin's state capital, so there's, traffic there. And this truck came up alongside of us into the left lane, and a lot of people weren't in the left lane because there was a lot of snow there.
So he decided to make his own lane in the left lane, basically.
Yeah, but what he did, there was a bunch of water, slush, whatever. It came and hit the windshield of the Jeep, and you couldn't see anything. It just totally reminded me of being in a car wash.
Yeah.
And I was praying Paul just kept going exactly straight, and so there was just some really scary stuff going on. But then when we got home, we saw what happened to the roof of the barn.
Yeah, so the metal came loose, really blew some of the roof down. I guess I got to secure it even more. I didn't really realize that, because the first 2 years that we were here, it was never windy. We didn't even buy a windmill. We thought about it. We're like, well, it's never windy up here. Why would we buy a windmill? Let's just go with solar panels.
Yeah.
Now I regret it. I probably had enough electricity to last a lifetime.
Yeah, we thought
we've had.
We thought a wind turbine wouldn't work because we never really got any wind up here. And I don't think it's that Paul didn't do the roof well enough. I think it's just been crazy winds in the last few storms we've had.
50, 60 mile an hour winds, and that's just consistent, and that's consistent for 3 days, and sooner or later stuff's just going to give. But I just got to nail some of it back down again. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It looks a lot worse than it
Yeah,
really
that's
is.
what I'm saying. To
But
me, it looks like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, the roof's coming off the barn, you know.
It's no big deal on that, really.
Yeah, to him, I guess it's not that big of a deal. But the other thing that's bad with this weather is, again, I have to pot up these tomatoes. By the time these things get to go outside, they'll be flowering already. I'm not even kidding. And these are the biggest pots I have. So what I was thinking of doing was taking a couple of these and cutting out the bottom and stacking them on top. I don't know. Do you think that's a good idea or not? I mean, because I need more space. They're getting too tall, even for the grow lights and stuff. So I wanted to place them up to about here. So that's what I'm planning on doing. But then I have a bunch of these things, you know. This came from lettuce, actually. Because in a couple of weeks we're going to be gone at the Mother Earth News Fair, but I have to have some seeds planted before then. And so it's driving me nuts trying to figure out how I'm going to keep stuff watered while we're gone, because we're going to be gone 4 days. And if any of you grow stuff from seeds, you know you don't want it drying out. So I was thinking of using stuff like this and only planting. I don't have to plant a lot, but I have to get my pepper seeds going in particular. So I thought like maybe 2 plants in here, and if I got that wet enough, because of how big it is, it would keep it, moist until we got home. As opposed to little pots,
I think especially if we buy some sponges and put some sponges on the bottom.
Oh yeah, that might work in there.
And do some dirt on top of that.
Good idea.
That'll probably work and keep it moist while we're gone, because it'll take a while for them sponges to dry out.
Oh, fabulous, fabulous. Natural sponge. You don't want something purple from the grocery store, but a natural sponge would work good. But you can get those almost anywhere these days. Anyhow, there's one more thing I think we should talk about real quick that people might be interested in, is your off-grid homesteading group on Facebook?
What it is if any of you are members of Facebook, and if you are living off-grid or are working towards more of an off-grid lifestyle, I got a group on Facebook. It's called Off-Grid Midwest. It's a small group. I think we got like just under 300 members now. I just started it a month ago. It's really for a lot of like-minded people like us that just really want to just talk and throw some stuff off to each other. So, I throw a lot of different questions out there and stuff like that. Kind of interesting about it, that I was just talking to Sandra about it, was that I asked the question last night whether or not, if you were to live off-grid, if you would want to live off-grid in a community setting, where there's a lot of people surrounding you and there's lots of families living in an off-grid community, and kind of got a lot of responses off it, which was pretty cool. In fact, a lot more than I thought. About half and half. A lot of people said that they would, my personal preference, I don't know how Sandy feels, is I don't think I would like it so much, just because I really like I like the solitude. I really like being alone out here. And I probably socialize a lot more than Sandra because of what I'm busy. She spends a lot more time at the cabin than I do. I'm always a lot of times away from here. So it's probably a lot easier for me to say that than her, because I do see a lot more outside people than she does. But still in all, I'm a country boy, so the further into the woods that I live, the better I like it. I'm a hunter, I'm a fisherman. I just love being by myself. I get along with everybody, but I really like being by myself. I have no problem at all spending a lot of time by myself. I keep myself busy and occupied with no problem whatsoever. I don't need to be surrounded by a lot of people.
Lowell, I think, I'm okay with being by myself too. And I think people in the workforce, or people even volunteering, whatever, people who are out and about a lot during the day, want to come home to solitude and being on their own, and I get that, and I like it too. I think though, when it comes to a community, I would be more okay with it if you weren't, say, living right on top of one another, or where everything was communal, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy's going to grow all the fruit trees and the pond is on this guy's land and stuff like that. If it wasn't set up like that, I think I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, you would really want to have some rules, and it's almost going to have to be where somebody probably is the leader to lead and have the meetings and all that, because otherwise I think it could get out of control really easy, because you know, there's going to be some people that might take advantage of other people and stuff like that. So, and other people would just get mad, and you just can't do that. There's got to be rules, you know, of who would be doing what. And then maybe I could, and maybe the older I get, I could do that kind of thing. But just to go into it, because it's just human nature. If you're a super, super hard worker, you're kind of expecting everybody else to work around you that hard. And some people are like thinking, a lot of people think I'm crazy, you know, because of the way, you know, my work ethics, and probably I am. So everybody sees things differently. So, and different things bother people. So I think that would be the hard part. And then a lot of people brought up those kind of interesting comments up there. Another one brought up the comment about what is really off-grid, you know. And off-grid means a whole lot to everybody else. I mean, the clear definition, pretty much of it, if you look it up, of what off-grid is in the dictionary, is living without the municipalities. So you're not living off of the county, city, or state electrical system, water supply, city
Natural
water,
gas, all that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're living and doing your own thing, that's living off the grid. You're actually off the power grid, off of the municipal grid, that you can self-sustain without the city's help.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, technically where we are, there's 5 cabins, so it'd be a small community, but we're the only ones that live here full time. But as we've, you know, met everybody and talked with everyone, if they were to be here full time, I think it would work out great, because none of us are looking to rely on each other for anything in particular, other than a sense of community, you know,
yeah. And we've talked about it with the other ones too, about doing a community garden and stuff like that. So that might set the landscape for it. We have one guy that has one of the cabins out here who he actually lives in town, and he just has it more for a
like a bug out.
But like a bug out place, and he plans on, I don't know if his wife is too thrilled about it, but he plans on when he retires to live out here full time, and he wants to do aquaponics and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. That kind of thing, I think a community would be great, because you can barter, trade with different people, and if you got apple trees and they're raising strawberries, you can trade apple, and that would be great. Or if one person fishes, I mean, you know, I fish, I can catch enough fish for 30 people. Well, maybe the next person loves fish but doesn't want to fish. Well, then that's more bartering. Or, you know, like Sandra and I want to do a lot more of it this year. I've been doing a lot of reading on it, and it's really fascinated me, is foraging. And she's been trying to talk me into doing it for years, and I just have never been with it. But being up here and seeing it, and really doing a lot of reading, and see how much free stuff is out there for the taking, is just cool to me, and it just interests me. So I've been doing a lot more reading and trying to get up onto that. In fact, I think this year I'm going to be pushing her to go out there foraging.
Yeah, okay, he's going to push me, all right.
So.
Yeah, that's it. But anyhow, I'm going to put the link to his Facebook group down in the description, so in case you want to go and check it out. But it was another great Tuesday, you guys. Anything you want to talk about, any comments, any topics, whatever, make sure to leave them down in comments. We'll check them out, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. It was nice talking to you, and you take care.
God bless.